Andariki Namaskaram. I think that is only one Telugu line I know. Okay, so hereafter I'll only be speaking in English. I hope everybody can understand. Like, one thing that I've noted after coming to Vizag is the way that like Intelli has been taking care of the entire coordination part. Okay, so certain things is very evident in the activities that we do. So one the important prominent point, I think, like hats off to you, really appreciate the entire team. One prominent point that I noted the moment I stepped down from the hotel is that anybody and everybody that I'm interacting in the league are like greeting a person with a namaste. Okay, not even a single person was intent like what trained or something like that. I think it is a part of the culture that I really appreciate. So parents, I do believe that like you have taken a very good decision of like sending your kids here, because this is something. See, I always believe that like culture is something that we do when others are not seeing us. Okay, and if we are doing it in a proper manner, it is going to be really good. So rest assured, your students, your kids are in good hands is what I understand. Okay, so I think like rather than going for an applause to me, we should give an applause to the entire school management and the team for it. Okay. So I have a small presentation here. I never wanted to go through the presentation, but the slides are always helpful to give a perspective. Okay. So any questions, please raise the hand, ask me, I'll be more than happy to answer. I wanted this to be a dialogue, not a monologue, because at the end of the day, your questions needs to be answered. Okay, then only like you will have the satisfaction of sending your kid here. Okay, so any question, let it be trivial, it's okay. You can ask the question, we'll clarify. If there is something connected to the execution, of course, ma'am will be there to answer any of your queries. Okay, so before I formally start the presentation, I wanted to tell how things are changing, okay, in our daily lives. How many of you are from the IT background? I can see 4-5 hands. Okay, so few people are already from the IT background. They'll be getting this idea immediately. But for others, I'll put it in very plain words. Okay, see, I passed out my engineering in 2006. It was like roughly about 19 years before I passed out my engineering. During that time, it was the peak time for any engineering graduate. Everybody was getting jobs. People who are in the 40s will definitely understand that. They'll be able to connect it very clearly. Okay? So everybody was getting jobs because the IT was booming at that particular point. You know, the questions that they used to ask me when I go and sit for the placements is like, can you write a program in Java? And C and C++. Just write the logic. If my logic is right, syntax, no worries. You just need to show me the logic. Once the logic is right, they will hire. No questions asked. Because that was the kind of scenario. The last year, I'll tell you the question that they have asked to an engineering graduate. Okay? Last year, the question goes like this. Two major roads intersect. There is a signal. Design a signal system in such a manner that the vehicles are not waiting for more than 2 minutes in the signal at one place. The vehicular length is not more than 200 meters in every signal. There are 3 left turns, that's it. You have 2 hours, all the best. This is what the question is all about. See the difference. 19 years before, they give a piece of paper, ask us to write the logic. 20 years later, our kids are tested in these kind of things. Not just on the idea, but on the approach, the logic, the way that they are able to do. And trust me, when people like me passed my engineering, there was no Google. There was no ChatGPT. Nothing was there. Now, even with ChatGPT, even with AI, it is very difficult to solve these kind of questions. Okay? So, always parents used to ask this doubt. Why are we sending our kids if they are like really good for medical or they are really good for some other domain? No, absolutely. I mean, like not all kids are meant for engineering. Not all kids are meant for medical. Not all kids are meant for management. Okay? But how do you know what is the right mixture for your right mix for your student, right kid. It's very difficult. 2002, when my father forced me to go for computer science engineering, his only logic was, everybody are doing computer science. Why don't you also do computer science? You anyway have got 80 percentage in your state syllabus. Easily you will get a good school, good college. That was the logic. His logic was not driven by any other factor, but just this particular thing that maybe, probably, this particular kid will get a job in the IT industry. That's it, nothing else. You know what is the outcome? After 4 years, I passed my engineering. 73%, 0 supplementary, 27th rank in the university. Very good. But the final outcome is not there. I was not getting jobs. Because I was never interested in the software domain. I was never interested in the software domain. While coming here itself, like, I noticed many of the things, okay, because I'm really interested in drawing, architecture. I like architecture a lot. So, like, shapes, figures, the design, everything is like, I immediately catch it. But my father never realized, even like, I also never realized that after effect is, I lost 4 years studying engineering, another 4 years in the job trying to make things work. So 8 years I have spent my life in trying to figure it out whether a 4-year engineering degree is going to help me in my future or not. Then I realized, no, that is not the right direction that I am going. I took a detour. I started identifying what is working for me. One thing was working for me, interacting with people, making people understand. So I figured it out, okay, maybe if that is the case, why don't I do an MBA? Then it picked up. So it is always good to give an early exposure to your school kids and make them, like, if they are able to get it, then you know for sure that this is the right domain for them. If they are not able to make it, it's okay, at least you know. Why are we spending lakhs in some other course or program where our kids are not going to be successful, right? And of course, IBM certification is always helpful. Like I'll take you through the slide so you'll get it. Okay, now everybody are speaking about AI. I was having a quick chat with the senior members also of the college school fraternity. So they were all saying the same thing, like everybody are speaking about AI. People are calling it as emerging technology. Even IBM calls it as emerging technologies, but the point is it's already emerged. We don't even realize how our lives are connected to AI. AI has made a lot of changes among our community, our country, our state, or whatever, maybe the entire world. So many things have changed. See, 20 years before, if I walk into a particular hospital and go to a particular doctor and say that I have got an eye problem, whatever the result that they give, I will not be happy with it because either the diagnosis may not be proper or the equipments may not be proper. Now, interestingly, AI does diabetic retinopathy at doctor level precision. Some doctor who has been doing diabetic retinopathy for 25 years, you train an AI engine, it will start doing the same thing, same output. So, rarest of the rare cases, maybe you still need a doctor support. But all the other things, AI can simply capture. Now, we have done a program in Mayo College, Ajmer. Mayo College is one of the oldest CBSE schools in the country, 156 years old. Mayo is the first school to go for IBM program. So Mayo College, we did the program, and a student, 9th standard kid, came out with an app. You open the app, point your camera, minimum 12 megapixel that everybody's phone will have nowadays. You point the camera to a particular leaf, that app will predict what are the disease this particular plant has got. A 9th standard kid has done it. And now, if he is interested, venture capitalists are ready to invest 15 crores for him to start a company. Because this is really required in agriculture. That is the power of AI. So, healthcare, science, technology, education, transportation, you without even we realize we are actually supplying information to the AI, one or the other AI engines on a daily basis. So, a simple example for the kids here, you open up Google Maps, put your start and the destination, start location and the destination. The Google Maps will show one particular location, but for example, if there is a work going on, right? If there is a work going on, and the traffic is pretty high on that particular route, it will immediately pick up some other route and show you that particular route, telling that there is an alternate route available. Why don't you go for it? How is that they are doing it? It's machine learning. They are picking up information from the back end. Now, many people have stalled the vehicle and now turning. So, automatically, the application will know there is some problem there. And they'll immediately start picking up alternate routes. That's how it happens. Anywhere and everywhere you see, without this, our world will never move forward. That's the kind of scenario. And automation and AI. These two things are gonna really impact our kids' future. Okay? The students who are in 8th standard right now, current 8th standard, trust me, they are right now preparing for a job that is not existing right now. You mark my words, you have this recording. When they reach out to their engineering or their arts and science or commerce, after 7, 9, 8 years, you just go back to this recording and see. Most of the jobs existing at that particular point are now not there. You don't even know what kind of domain, what kind of job, what kind of technology that is going to come up. Okay, so again, I'm just repeating. 20 years before, 3 to 4 languages, 1 or 2 technologies. 20 years later, I can't even count the number of technologies. Cloud computing, cyber security, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, IoT, graphics and gaming, any number of technologies are available. And now if you think that lawyers are exempted, commerce graduates are exempted, definitely not. Now there will be a scenario where lawyers need to know what needs to be supplied for AI. Because AI will tell them that, okay, this particular law point, this particular Supreme Court, some hearing has come, so better you put forward this particular thing. Now, AI is not an easy task. Everybody uses ChatGPT. But if you see, when you are supplying some information to ChatGPT, okay, when you are supplying some information to ChatGPT, you see the way the answers are coming. Then you will understand, you know for sure that my prompt is not right. You have to do proper prompt. You have to supply proper information. So, ma'am was telling, I think director ma'am was telling that people used to come with fancy examples. Yeah, of course. But how do you know that it's ChatGPT written or AI written? The wordings is very easy. So you need to train your ChatGPT in such a manner that your ChatGPT account will only use the words that you use on a regular basis. Then nobody can figure it out. Then in that case, plagiarism softwares like Turnitin can only figure it out. Now, one more important aspect is if all the kids who are here, if they move to IITs or IIMs, they all use plagiarism checks. So you can't simply rely on a ChatGPT example and then show it to your professor. He will tell that 97% AI, 3% original. Go and do it again. So all these problems are going to problem. Okay, so understanding the current technology and aiming for what is going to be there in the future. Accordingly, we have to prepare our kids. Okay, that is pretty much important. And one thing is only certain: uncertainty. I'm telling you. Okay, why I'll again tell a classic example. I'm just connecting it to the higher education because your kids are all going for higher education. Last year has been a disastrous year for majority of the engineering colleges. Last year, if you see the placement numbers of the previous year, 2024 and 2025, you see that 50% reduction has happened. Okay. Now, why that 50%? Everybody thought Trump is going to come. Situation will improve. So every company stopped their hiring until Trump came into picture. By the time Trump came into picture, Los Angeles wildfire started. I don't know how many of you remember that news. Okay, Los Angeles wildfire has started. Now people were thinking, like I mentioned this to many higher education people, and they are asking like, what does Los Angeles wildfire has to do with India? Everything. Los Angeles is the place where Hollywood people live. Majority of the Hollywood celebrities' houses were gutted in fire. They lost their Oscar awards. You know, one Oscar award they would have insured it for $100 million. They haven't started the dispersal yet. Once they start the dispersal, we are going to see massive disruption in India. You know why? 5 companies may go bankrupt. 5 companies may go bankrupt there. And how is it affecting in India? First, it will affect Philippines because they will be losing the voice process. Now, Indians are not in call centers anymore. Okay? There was a time where Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, everybody were in call centers. That has been moved to the Philippines now because they are low cost, English trained, English local language guys. So they can do better. It's okay, let them take it. We are doing the back-end technology, cyber security, cloud computing, cloud infra, everything is taken care in India. Now, if these 5 companies go bankrupt, it is estimated that 35,000 crore loss will be there in the economy. How can any company match that? Just like that, it won't happen too. Right? And then Trump started the tariff wars. No, I'm not. And then like Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Iran, whatever. The world has moved to a chaos. Somebody is planning in something in the back end that we don't know. So I'll still come back to the same term that I was telling. One thing is only certain, that's uncertainty. How do you make sure your kids are planned for it? We cannot properly plan anything, but at least we can be doing everything possible in our capacity to make sure that the students are having every knowledge that they wanted. So that is the best thing. Okay. Now, things might turn better for everybody, we don't know. But I'm just telling that it is always good to prepare for the worst and expect the best. Not the other way around. People used to say that like, no, prepare for the best and expect the worst. No. Prepare for the worst and expect the worst. Okay, so that is the kind of scenario. So once you have that kind of understanding, even kids will also figure it out in what way they can fine-tune themselves. Okay, so I would appreciate Intelli School for taking a bold decision last year. I don't know how many of you are aware that Intelli is the first school in South India to go with IBM collaboration. Okay, so it's a very bold step. When established schools thought whether they should take it up or not, Intelli took a bold decision. And I really appreciate because that is the right step that anybody can do. Okay? And as I said, like it's just giving an exposure. If the kid is able to come out successful in it, fantastic. Well and good for you. Well and good for the kid. But if they are not, at least you know. And at least like we know for sure that basic training is given to them already. If they wanted to pick it from that particular point at a later stage in their life or career, absolutely fine with it. And this is something, IBM is something that is going to be really valuable in a later part also. So I'll quickly take you through the presentation and then we can answer, I'll answer any questions, okay? So at any given point of time, you wanted to stop me, please stop me. By this time, you would have realized that like why I moved out of IT and I joined business. I can speak throughout, okay? I have slept for 2 hours today. that too in the flight. My flight was at 5 from Bangalore. And I couldn't rely cab wala because they all sleep and drive. So I drove my car to Bangalore airport. I parked it there. I was working, and then like I picked up the flight. Straight away came here, refreshed within 1 hour, and I am here. Without breakfast, without sleep. But I can run like this till evening if you want me to do so. Okay, maybe till 4 o'clock because have to catch my flight at 5:30. So I am ready. I am ready to support. It all depends on you now. Okay, so if I am energetic with just 2 hours of sleep, you can do better. Everybody had good food, I believe, right? Yes, and it's a Sunday morning, calm and quiet day. So I'm feeling I'm like pretty sure everybody are energetic more than me. Okay, yes. So how many of you know about IBM? Many? Majority know about IBM. And I don't want to accuse the parent, I'll accuse the student. Any one student, ma'am, there should be a prize going from my side, okay? I don't have anything, but I'll buy a prize. Yeah, we'll give it to a student. So any one student, please tell me what is the full form of IBM? Yes, go for it. And first and now thinking. Yes, I'll give her a chance. Yes.
International Business Machine.
Wonderful. Correct. International business machine. Okay. So good point here. You raise your hand. You are confident to raise the hand, but you also need to answer also. Okay. So thank you. Thanks for the effort. Yes. International business machine. Okay. IBM is one of the very few companies in the whole world which has been operating for the last 125 years. Very few companies. There are only two major companies which have been operating, plus one group. One is IBM, second is Hitachi, third one is Tata. These are the three major organizations which have been continuously working for the last 125 years without break. Okay? Whatever that we see around today is because of IBM, I would say. How many of you know that personal computer was invented by IBM? Floppy disk invented by IBM. Hard disk invented by IBM. First supercomputer invented by IBM. Anything and everything came from IBM. And IBM they did not do everything in their corporate house. That's the beauty of it. IBM started as a recording company. It was a recording company. The name was different initially. They changed it to IBM later. It was a tabulating and recording company initially, and then they started this. Majority of the inventions that we see around us today is because of the collaboration between IBM and academia. They started with Harvard in 1944 and jointly created Mark I computer. Majority of the computer science developments that we see around us is because of collaboration with Columbia. IBM research was formed by joining with Columbia University. And see, what they have done is they have done a beautiful thing. They did not patent any of the early technologies. They purposefully did not patent. Why? Because they wanted the adoption to happen pretty fast. Because if you patent for 15 years, the patent lies with you. And obviously, the technology will not go widespread. Okay, so IBM did not patent any of this initial things. Everything was open. So anybody could do. Anybody could can come and make personal computers. So IBM PC was made by everybody. So thanks to IBM, we are actually in a fantastic world right now. If they have not collaborated with Harvard or Columbia, our world would have been entirely different, trust me. Our world would have been entirely different. You would be still maybe 20, 30 years before if that kind of collaboration was not happening. So 80 plus years they have been collaborating with various universities. 2011 they started in India. It took some time for them to start their operations in India by collaborating with the academy, but like from there onwards, it has been going pretty good. Okay, and last year we have started with schools. This year we are looking at pretty big. I'm not referring to few. There are big chains, big groups where like we are waiting for the right opportunity, and like maybe in this academic year itself, like we'll have the IBM program running with them. So when I'm looking at the big groups, I see that like Intelli is already a front runner in that case. Okay, so 80 years of relationship with academia has given a lot of benefits, and what are those benefits? I'll show you next slide. So they are one of the largest employer in India. After Indian Railways and TCS, IBM is one of the largest employer in India. They have got about 170 countries, presence in 170 countries. That means IBM companies operate in 170 countries. It's not a franchisee or a subsidiary, it's IBM presence itself is there in 170 countries. That means the certificate that your kids are going to carry is going to be there, valid in 170 countries too. Okay, that is a benefit. 23 years of patent leadership. That means the last 23 years, IBM has been there in the forefront in terms of patent. As I said, initially they did not patent, but now almost every new technology that is coming up, IBM is patenting. Okay, and interestingly, more than 90% of the revenue of IBM comes from these kind of patent interventions. Okay, trust me, this revenue from the school is not at all a revenue for them. Okay, so we'll come back, we'll go to that particular thing there. So USD 6 billion, they spend 6 billion, they spend for R&D activities per year. 100 billion in revenue. Very few companies have touched that mark. 100 billion in revenue in 2024. 6 Nobel laureates are there with them. 6 Turing Awards are there. So many of the inventions that we see, we can attribute to IBM. Okay. So I just wanted to establish the credential of the organization that is coming here to deliver, coming down to your campus to deliver the training in person, and at the end of the day certify your students. So if you feel that like okay, technology may or might overwhelm them, I think that like you have to reconsider that. Let them get explored. Okay, let them get exposed to this, and let them figure it out whether technology is going to be a right fit for them in the future. I'll also speak about transneuron technologies. Okay, so I represent IBM. I am from transneuron technologies. So what we do is like we are a delivery partner for IBM. Okay, so the best credential that I can offer in terms of transneuron is, many of you may be aware of Skill India portal, which is the prestigious portal by Government of India. It is designed, developed and maintained by transneuron technologies. Apprenticeship portal for Government of India, designed, developed and maintained by transneuron technologies. We are also working with various state governments like Government of Andhra Pradesh, Government of Karnataka, Government of Tamil Nadu, Government of Kerala for various skilling initiatives. 700 schemes of central government runs through our platform. And we are also the technology partner for many of the companies like IBM. Okay, so I wanted to give that, you also need to know, right? Like, okay, some companies coming in, giving something for your students, kids. Are they the right choice? Of course. So this is the biggest testimonial. Okay, so transneuron will coordinate everything for IBM side, and delivery will be definitely from the IBM subject matter expert. Okay. So in a quick nutshell, I've already explained this particular slide. Okay, I'll quickly go through again. Because of automation and AI, everybody has to reskill. Everybody has to upskill. Everybody has to unlearn, relearn, and learn new technology. That is the kind of scenario. If you are still working in an obsolete technology, probably like maybe 1 or 2 years, maybe 5-10 years max. Beyond that, like there is no scope unless you move to a technology that is current. Okay, or that has got some scope in the future, right? And India is in a unique position. I think majority of you may know something called demographic dividend. We have got something called demographic dividend. Demographic dividend means like 18 to 30 years, the most eligible age for the workforce. India has the majority of the people across the globe. Okay, so if you consider Japan as one of the global powerhouses, in 10 years, I'm not sure what Japan will be because their average age is 73, whereas our average age is less than 35. That's the difference. Okay, now again, technology is not gonna support the students here or the kids here. Technology will also help them to move to other countries like Japan because countries like Japan need us. Otherwise, how will they have their country run after 10 or 15 years? Because everybody is aged and like they'll never be able to do anything on their own. Okay, so for that scenario, again I'll come back to the same point that we were discussing. Okay, why this particular programs are really important at an early point, early age. Now I have interacted with a lot of academicians, and one particular point most of the academicians have said is that the age of 5th, grade 5 and grade 6 is the ideal age to expose them to some technology because they will be most receptive, they can understand things fast, more than the 10th standard or the 12th standard student. They can understand things fast and they will start working on it automatically. Now you cannot, you want to say something? Huh? Yes, what doubt you have got? Tell me. Okay. So I'll tell you, I'll answer that question. Your doubt is very good. At your age point, this is the best doubt that you can ask. Okay. Japan, the problem is that majority of the people are old aged people there. Okay. So I will not go in detail, but I'll tell a very simple thing. Some 20 years before, they forgot to marry. Or they never wanted to marry. Okay, so the relationships was in such a manner that the kids were not there. A particular generation of kids were not there. And one more aspect of Japan is that like it's a fast-paced life there, and majority of the people spend a lot of time for their career, not for their life. Though they are small islands, okay. So Kyoto, a particular island in Japan, from there to Tokyo, I think it is 4 or 5 hours journey. And there are thousands or 10,000s of people who take bullet train on a daily basis, wake up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning, catch a bullet train by 6 o'clock, land up in their office by 10 o'clock, finish their job by 7, reach back their home by 11 o'clock, sleep for 4 or 5 hours and repeat. They have been doing this for years. Okay, now for that reason their average age has gone up. So it is only grandmas and grandfathers there now. So in that case, don't you want them to, don't you, the country wanted people like you to go there and settle and be a citizen there if possible. That is the reason why Japan wants people like you. Okay, a little, maybe 1 or 2 years later, you'll definitely get an idea. Okay, right now I know that like it is too much to process. Okay, yes. So thank you for that particular doubt. Good question, by the way. And I really appreciate because he never, which standard, which grade are you? 7th. Again, that never bothered him to ask that question, right? Immediately, like, it popped up, he asked. He did not even, ma'am, are you his, no, you are like, where are your parents? They have not come. It's okay. That's even brilliant. Even parent is not there, so he's totally not bothered about. Okay, wonderful, man. Thank you. So that is a kind of scenario. Okay, now the more we discuss, again, similar points would only come up. So let me move to the next slide. Okay, so automation, AI, and all the new technologies are gonna clearly impacting our daily lives even more that we see nowadays, and for that reason it is always good to expose kids. Now the point that I was telling is like they are receptive, the grade 5 and grade 6 students are receptive, and they'll be able to understand things better. Okay, and those are the guys who will come and ask sensible questions to the teachers too. So it is always a good opportunity for everybody to improve, not just for the kid, but also for the teacher, but also for the parents. Because at the end of the day, if we are unable to answer, we have to find an answer for them, right? So otherwise, like, how will we are going to help our kids? So this is the IBM program. IBM program is basically divided into three major categories. Okay, first one is the Explorer, for those who love the tech. Just give an exposure to the technology. That's it. Not too much on it. Ideal from grade fifth onwards. So 5, 6, 7 is what we offer Explorer. Okay, and 5, 6, 7, 8 we offer Explorer. Discoverer 1 is for 9th and 10th, and Innovator is for 11th and 12th. This is how the IBM program is basically divided. In our case, we are going, Intelli is going with Explorer and Explorer Plus, because that was a conscious decision. I'm sorry. That was a conscious decision because we'll take baby steps. Because all of a sudden we can't give a big thing to dump all the technology things to the student. They also need time to pick it up. But as and when we move, we progress, probably next year, we'll even go for Discoverer for the higher grades. Okay, because the students would be equipped by that particular time. So these are the major things. And IBM is also equally interested. If at all, once we reach the innovator stage, IBM is also equally interested to see if there are product ideas from the kids here. If there are product ideas, then we would be more than happy to present them before a venture capitalist. You don't have to complete your education. I think you might know the youngest CEO. I think I'm not sure. The company's name is Global Technology, if I'm not wrong. Suhas Gopinath is what I have some vague idea. Suhas Gopinath became a CEO at the youngest age of 14. Indian rules do not allow a minor to become a CEO and legally operate a company. So his family shifted to US in Silicon Valley so that he can start his company there. And once he turned 18, maybe he has got again, the culture was really good, culture is really good. He shifted the entire headquarters back to India because he is legally, now he attained the legal age to run the company from here. Suhas Gopinath started the company at 14 without having any formal education, maybe higher education, I would say. He has not even completed his 10th. I'm not sure which age, but I'm pretty sure this is how it is. Okay, I should have done that research from my end, but next school, I'll definitely say that. So the point that I'm trying to say is that even our 12th standard kids, if they have a fantastic idea, and if they are getting that exposure, how to put it across, if they are going and pitching before a venture capitalist or an angel investor, the exposure that they are going to get is tremendous. And it will be really helpful for them. Again, you will get to know more, right? Okay, this particular capacity is there within our kid. Should we shape him more, or should we push him to some other direction? You will have absolute idea at that particular point. So these are the three programs IBM offers, and we will be going with Explorer and Explorer Plus. So this is the impact that we are thinking about it. We would want to develop the interest of technology at a young age itself. Okay. Bring the youth on the path to be globally employable, because now the barriers are not there, the borders are not there. It's kind of a borderless world, though people still fight for borders. It is kind of a borderless world because technology is like that, work is like that. You can join an Australian company and still work from Vizag, as long as you are able to support all their requirements. Nobody bothers, right? So that is a kind of scenario. So we wanted all the youth to be trained in that particular level and developing an entrepreneurial mindset. If you have that entrepreneurial mindset, what the advantage is that if there are problems, you will start solving by themselves. As parents, you think about yourself, when you were so young, when you were having problems were you directly going out to your parents and trying to solve it, or like you were trying to solve it all by yourself, probably with the friends? We were doing that. But now our kids are not having that kind of a scenario at all. And that exposure is totally lost. This particular ideas will also give them the see real-time problems. How do you tackle real-time challenges in your life as well as the career? All those things will crop up. Imagine this: a kid has got an idea, just like the plant thing that I was referring to. Venture capital is asking like, how do you scale up? I don't want this to be in India. I want this to be all around the globe. Now he needs to think about like, okay, are the diseases only, whatever the diseases that I've planned is only for India or like it is abroad? See, this is how the thought process will improve. When you give a platform for them to perform, trust me, they will find a way. But you need to give the platform for them to perform. Okay? Addressing the issues in skill development. Okay, skill development is something that like repeatedly, time and again, everybody has been telling. Okay, again, I can see parents, little aged parents to here, maybe grandfathers too. I can tell this example that like my grandfather has only studied till his fourth. Okay, but the knowledge that he has got or that he has attained with that like fourth standard education was at par with my father's 10th standard education. That was at par with my maybe engineering second degree education. That is a kind of scenario. So skill development is something that like we all lack. Okay, so principal ma'am was asking or raising a point that like everybody is asking like, see, shouldn't be they like focusing on JE or NEET because if there's 12th standard or 10th standard, they should be focusing on boards. Said okay, that's the right thing to do. Absolutely right, no doubt about it. But I'll have one question. If everybody were doing the right thing, why is India's employability rate less than 40%? Everybody are doing JE, everybody are doing NEET education, everybody are getting into good schools, good colleges. But still, why our employability rate, engineering employability rate, whopping low 18%. Why? Because skills are not there. Now I was telling ma'am one question that like, why should schools think like this? If I ask a corporate, why are you not able to select the kid? They don't have the right skill. So whose duty is to impart them skill? It is the college's duty. Now why go and cross-question the college? Sir, you have got 4 years, what have you done? They'll tell me that like, Sandheep, you only got 4, out of which only 3 years were productive. Schools were having 12 years, what have they done? Now, if it comes to schools, equal blame will come to people like us, parents. Why? Because half of the time kids are with us, half of the time kids are with the school. Somewhere we are not doing it right. That is the reason why skill development is actually taking a big hit there. So we also wanted to make sure that the skill development things are also taken care of. Okay, skilling is an important thing. Attaining hard skills and soft skills. Okay, the domain skills and life skills is very important. Very, very important. So that will also be taken care, and of course, these kind of training programs will always help you aid the economy. Now, how do we aid the economy? Can we have lakhs and lakhs of doctors in the country? Can we afford to have 1 crore doctors in the country? No. Because if we have 1 crore doctors, the entire medical, I don't know what might happen. Because the problem is like, again, there is a supply-demand equation that will be changed. Okay? Can we have a lot of manufacturing set up in this country? We have a Vizag steel plant, one of the largest in this site, right? Can we have 10 such steel plants? Possible or not possible? Actually not possible beyond a particular point. Why? Because India has got that much land. It has got only that much land. It's not Russia or Canada where you can build anywhere. Right? Our land is only that much, and we have a billion population to take care of. Right? So the economy will only sustain when we are able to sustain all the stakeholders, we are able to sustain the environment too. That will only help if we are focusing more on the technology. Government has understood long back. That is the reason why they are investing a lot into technology than other domains. They could really, they could give AIMs in every taluk or every district if they want. Why are they not giving it? Impossible. It won't, it won't do anything good. But they could give IITs and NITs enough. Why? Because you are going to be the backbone of the country. The kids are going to be the backbone of the country. So definitely that is possible. Okay? So that's it. Now I don't want to go in detail, but I'll just quickly go through this particular program. So this is the quick cross section of our program. 40-hour program, Explorer, grade 5th onwards. Okay. So 22 hours live sessions would be there. Live in the sense like in person, in the class or the computer lab. Then we have on-site activities, so managed by the school faculty or our own instructor. Okay, and then we have self-paced learning. I have written managed by school faculty, but school faculty will only oversee it. That 15 hours has to be under your supervision, the parent supervision. Okay, this is how we cover 40 hours. Now, there is a reason why we have gone this particular structure too, because as a school will not be able to offer more than 25 to 30 hours. So we have to take that also into consideration, right? And we have to find a balance. Okay, now one parent was asking me a question that is 40 hours sufficient? Definitely not, it is not sufficient. But can you give me 400 hours? We understood. Yeah, everything is important. Yeah, curriculum is equally important. So 40 hours is not sufficient. We know, everybody knows, but it's a start. And incremental improvement is what we are looking for. So 5th standard they get 40 hours, 6th standard they get 40 hours, 7th standard they get 40 hours. That will definitely help. And every year we increase the level. So the level will be increased in such a manner that students will be given that exposure to technology. So this is how it is. Okay, 40 hours, Explorer. The other program is Explorer Plus. Hours would be the same, but the delivery component differs. Okay, the component inside will be different from what is offered in Explorer, because it is again according to the grades, according to the standard that we are gonna teach. Okay, so these are the two programs that we offer here. And once we move to next year, I'm pretty sure that as parents, you also should think, okay, what more can we do? And as definitely school will be more than interested to offer the next level, so that we can take our kids to the next level. Okay, so I'm not going to go in detail because many of the parents you already know. So this is the clientele that we have got. Okay, so this is not the entire clientele. I have got institutions there in Malaysia, Singapore. Okay, we have just started with Middle East, so the number is gonna keep on increasing. I have not added all the IBM client institutions as well. This is through Transneuron. Now I should have put Intelli logo first, but again I thought, okay, Mayo is the oldest school in the country, so I should give some credit to them, so I put that. Okay, so I think I just wanted to tell you that as well. Okay. Yeah, it is a matter of pride, I would say, because I have not seen anywhere that first school in South India, that you should definitely have that tagline moving forward. Okay, it will really improve. Yeah. So I think like you can recognize this picture for sure. Okay, this picture for sure because I have seen the video. I was not there when this happened in the company. I joined recently, but I know that like this entire block is actually like for Intelli. So this is the previous annual day, and this is Shivam Sharma, who is the CEO of France Bureau, and he has been like working with IBM for about like 25 plus years, and he is one of the guys who like made IBM to go with school program as well. Okay, so this is what it is. So I'm open to any questions, any doubts, any concerns, anything that you would like to ask. Please feel free to ask. No, I was in a very reputed school and I was interacting with the parents. I had 600 people staring at me. Okay, because grade 5, 6 and 7, sorry, 6, 7 and 8, grade 6, 7 and 8 alone had 600 students. So 600 parents were there and everybody was staring at me. After the entire presentation, I asked this like, do you have any questions? For a minute I was standing there. No questions. So I told them, I'm repeating the same thing here. If you do not have any questions, then there are two possibilities. Possibility number one, you understood everything. Possibility number two, you understood nothing. So which possibility should I take? Sorry, ma'am? Okay, it's always midway. Thank you. You did not like very nicely you named me, but it's okay.
No, I do have a question.
Yes.
My kid is in class 8.
Yes.
And like all other kids, they have, he too has interest in everywhere. So as I am a working professional from the ITES, I'm not in the IT industry, but as you said, yeah, we've been upskilling for the last 15 years. So every time there is something new, we need to upskill. So I understand the importance of skilling. What I want to understand from you is, it's not about like job perspective for him, it's like 5 years down the line. So I'm not thinking about that. All I'm trying to say is when you're focusing on kids' education, and as I see that there's 40 hours of learning in 1 year, and there is also a lot of split the different ways. Okay, as you said, we'll work with the school to understand how it is going. I want to understand that are there any any structure to the program which we can monitor to see if the kid is really learning? Because with ChatGPT and with AI, we know AI is there everywhere, and I actually had a hell of a time to stop my son from using ChatGPT and writing things on their own. Because as you said, they come up with very innovative prompts to the GPT, saying, I need an essay on this topic in simple language in 10 lines. This is the detail which they go for ChatGPT. And it's not only my son, it's across all kids.
Everywhere.
So, yeah, we need to have a healthy balance.
Definitely, ma'am. See,
with the launching.
I get your concern. So I'll put
Thank
it
you.
like this. See, we will definitely have a balanced approach. Okay, without a balanced approach, this is not going to be sustainable. Okay, and this balanced approach will be in such a manner that like it will not be a burden for the kids when they are at school. It will never be a burden for the kids when they are at home.
Right.
Okay, that kind of balance will definitely make sure. Okay, and second thing is like the content is easily consumable.
Correct. Yeah, if they're able to see the applicability.
Absolutely, the content is easily consumable. Okay, there are short videos for everything. So for grade 5, 6, 7, we cannot give them straight away the concepts. So we have recorded pre-recorded videos there. And once the kid look into or watch the video, prompts come up in between. In the video itself, the questions will pop up and the student is supposed to answer. So while they're answering, back end we will get to know, they will get to know, the school will get to know, are the kids able to understand it or not?
Right.
Okay?
Thank you.
So all those things will be taken care of. And it's an easily consumable content. Okay?
I know, yeah.
It's going to be like that. So you don't have to worry about it because see, as I said, it has to be sustainable. Okay.
Right.
I flying coming from Bangalore and staying here and doing all this activity for just 1 year is not gonna worth your time, my time, anybody else's time. Right? So you have spent your precious 2 hours or 3 hours, that too on a Sunday here.
It's chaotic. You will not be able to imagine what chaos
I
is
know.
going.
I absolutely understand because I am a parent of 2 kids. My elder one is in 6th standard, my younger one is in 4th standard. Okay.
You're in war zone.
So you if you want to know, the very first thing that I did is I went and convinced that school to sign up for IBM. After I joined IBM, because I understood what IBM can offer. I went and convinced them and they signed the deal. They signed it. They are not going into the IBM program this year for my kids. I mean what the talk. We are definitely doing it. So rest assured that will be taken care of.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Sir, it is a general question regarding artificial intelligence and machine learning. I have from initial last 2-3 years, I am aware this is happening actually, which is not, we should not avoid. It should automatically come into our life actually. So everywhere we are using that. At the same time, myself and my coming generation, my kid and other generations also know aware of that. What are the risks involved in artificial intelligence? Like, where should apply our critical thinking? So, in that point of view, I want to be able to know whether how it will be.
Yes. One, that is why we have an in-person component. I could always offer a pre-recorded session where entire training can be pre-recorded videos. But nobody will be able to give the same thing that you said. How do you apply your knowledge? How do you approach a problem? That AI can tell you in words, but somebody has to teach you also, right? Somebody has to guide you. That is where we have an in-person component. Okay, in-person component means we'll have in-person classes. So our subject matter expert will come down to the campus and they'll train the students. They'll be giving the ideas to, okay? But there is a limit with which we can also tell that to the kids. Because I can in general tell that these are the pitfalls, these are the problems. But beyond that, either the school or the company is not in a position to help the kid. There the parents also equal involvement is there. That is why initially I said all the stakeholders are involved. I cannot let go of any stakeholder in this. Okay, even your grandparents, your parents are also equally involved in this. Because it is my parents who is actually interacting with kids on a daily basis than me, because most of the time I won't be there in my home. And if my parents are totally unaware of what are the pitfalls, how will they stop the kids when they are doing something wrong? Right? So everybody has to be aware on this. So the best thing that we can do is maybe we can offer a general awareness session for all. We can make it open for all. We can make it open for all, a webinar, where we would request your active participation. You can invite your parents also to come and just listen. Okay, if you want a vernacular language person to come down, that has to be intimated to us well in advance. So we'll have a Telugu guy who will be speaking about this. So we can think of all those kind of sessions, but not within the parents of academics, because everybody are running short of time. So within academics, we'll do our level best. But see, it's very simple, right? You have to set aside certain boundaries. If I don't have boundary, what will happen is anything and everything I have to tell. Anything and everything I have to teach. That is quite impossible, sir. But yes, that will be taken care of to a particular extent.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Could you,
Sir.
with your curriculum, with this curriculum, can you, where the limitations need to be taken care by child, which has to be searched and which has not to?
Sorry, I missed your point, sir. Yeah. Sit, please, please.
By this curriculum, can we understand where AI can be used, where we cannot use,
Yes.
we need to use our thinking?
Definitely. So 3 technologies. We will be training the students in 3 technologies: artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and blockchain. Okay, these are the 3 technologies. We cannot go more because time is limited. So for the given time, we'll be giving enough exposure, okay, making them understand. So, sir, as I said, like after the training, a kid developed an app, a 9th standard kid developed an app. So, of course, that is definitely possible. We'll definitely give that idea to them. And for 9th standard and 10th standard, it's not the basic training. We'll be moving to advanced, like coding and like app development. All those things will come up at a later point. And if the kids are having a little, interest on their own, trust me, they will pick it up from where we stop.
Namaste, sir.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
child is in 5th grade. So, are you providing any hard copy or whatever you are doing in soft copy only?
Hard copy, we will never give. One simple reason.
Okay.
I said one statement earlier. Sir, uncertainty is the only thing that is certain. Tomorrow, what will happen, we don't know. The content will get updated. If I give hard copy, how many books will I supply? This is
But how
getting.
they will revise, how they will remember
They will
that?
have an access to the LMS. IBM is giving an access to their IBM LMS. Okay? They will have access to the LMS. The student login credentials would be there. You can also go and check the credentials,
Yeah.
what they have completed so far.
Yes.
School will also have credentials so that they can also check what the student have done.
And the coding part means in which language the AI is written. That how, in which grade they will know.
Man, see, that I would say that like we first have to give them an exposure. Okay, only after that we'll even move to the next level. So 5th standard, it is only meant that like they need to know what AI is, what blockchain is, what cyber security is. Only when they move to 6th or 7th, we'll move to the next level.
Coding.
So ideally that is good because what if more than blockchain something else come up next year?
Yes.
I don't want to dump everything this year itself and let me force them to unlearn and learn a new technology next year, right? So
Yes.
according to their level, we are going.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. I am Vamsi Krishna. This is a general kind of question. This is to address my own unawareness about AI. I'm a researcher and faculty at an engineering college.
Okay.
I used to mug up hundreds and thousands of journals to write up some kind of outcomes, scientific outcomes, and so on and so forth. But since 2021, I find that my job is done by ChatGPT and more efficient AI tools are doing that. But I wonder how the technologies that we teach now and the kind of training that we give to our kids, is that, will it exist even after 10 years of time duration?
I got your question, sir. In
Sir.
fact, like high five, because I am also the same level. I was in the same level as you are. Okay. You used to mock up things and like trying and make things work out. It never used to work. You rightly said, ChatGPT has taken over majority of that activities. And one thing that you said is also equally right. I think I'm not sure whether you were earlier. In the beginning of my session, I said one particular statement. The current 8th standard student is actually preparing for a job that is not existing right now.
That's true, sir. But what I actually fear is, ChatGPT will give you the best of the 4 searches in the Google, and it skips the most of web searches that will give you a more clear understanding about the content. What I wonder is, after going through the ChatGPT, even I use ChatGPT for writing, I find that it doesn't involve a personal understanding of the kind of topics that we are going to learn. I find that if we go on this scale of using AI, isn't it going to reduce the cognitive skills and the level of interest that we put into in-depth search of, I want expertise in some X area. So isn't it be disruptive?
Your concern is valid, Okay?
Yeah.
And I would say that like it's a chicken and egg kind of a situation. You cannot like choose which side is good in this case. Your concern is absolutely valid. I totally agree with you. There are no empirical studies right now whether it will really affect the cognitive skills of the student. Maybe 5 years, 6 years later, we'll start seeing it.
Yeah.
But if we don't do it, the problem is like the world is moving at a rapid pace in such a manner that like our kids will lack a lot of skills that their counterparts will have.
That's true,
Okay?
maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
And those guys will be able to scale up the ladder pretty fast. So, should we focus on improving the cognitive skills and still trust that people come up really good, or should we expose them to technology and give it a try? That's what I would say chicken and egg kind of a situation. We can't say that this is what it is. We'll have to give 4 or 5 years. Okay.
Right.
So at this particular pace, whatever that we are going, it's pretty much rapid. A lot of disruptions are happening. So it is good to go with what the technology things are actually happening right now. Because if you completely avoid it, we might reach a stage where the kid has to start from scratch again. And that would be very much difficult for the kid. So we can't let that happen to our kids. For that reason, I would say, please wait for another 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years. After that, if empirical studies prove that yes, cognitive skills are getting impacted, then the world itself will find a solution for it. Okay, so till that time, I would say avoiding that is not ignoring that to a particular extent would be the right step. Okay, that's how it is happening. We can't help it.
Thank you, sir. I think.
And sir, one more point that you mentioned a valid point too with regard to ChatGPT. So we wanted the kids also to understand that why is it really important to give the proper prompt?
Yeah.
Because you want a letter from ChatGPT, okay? So I was interacting with a college student. So I asked them to prepare an introduction using ChatGPT. I want everybody to do a personal introduction. But people used to come and say that hey, I am coming from so-and-so place, I am currently doing a so-and-so degree from so-and-so college. Everybody are telling the same thing. And one interesting thing that I found at that particular college is 5 Anne Marias are there in the same class. 4 of them studied in the same school, and 4 of them are from the same church. These guys come and say that, hi, I am Anne Maria from computer science, from this school, from this college. After the evening, I am really confused, which Anne Maria came then? You know what would be my decision? Don't take any Anne Maria. Simple. If you don't differentiate yourself, this is what it is going to happen. So I asked everybody to write ChatGPT. Use ChatGPT and write a personal introduction. Still the introductions are looking the same except one student. You know what he did? He did a fantastic thing. He opened the ChatGPT. He said, I want a unique introduction, which is not more than 200 words and not more than 2 minutes. And this introduction it should be in such a manner that the interviewer should get impressed. Ask me questions so that I can answer and you can give me a proper introduction. So ChatGPT asked 10 questions to this guy. He answered 10 questions, his introduction is entirely different from the rest of the crowd. That is why prompt engineering is really important. You need to know what has to be prompted to ChatGPT. Okay, the moment you know that and you start pumping your own words to ChatGPT, ChatGPT will start behaving almost like you. So you have to, even that is also really required for the students to understand, right? So all those things will definitely happen.
So being more specific is a solution to this problem.
Yes.
And I think this is a more collective problem, as you said.
Correct, sir. At the end of the day, if a kid is going wrong, it's not the responsibility of the parent alone, right? We cannot blame school. We cannot blame the parent. We cannot blame the grandparents because everybody are supporting. The tuition teachers maybe. So it's a collective responsibility. So everybody has to do their part to make sure that our kids have a brighter future. As simple as that.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
with your curriculum and that explorer, how can a child can develop their perceptive analytical skills and apply in their daily lives?
Ma'am?
How it is related to their daily living?
Daily living, you are referring to.
And also how you can improve a child from grade 5?
See, that aspect I'll divide it in two particular parts, okay? So one thing that you are referring to the life skills.
Yeah.
Life skills we'll have to deal with separately now.
Okay.
We cannot include life skills also into the curriculum. In that case, like I'll be watering down whatever that I want to offer. So I can always include life skills, but the problem is like by inculcating life skills, the technology part will definitely will not work, right? So we will like work on the technology part itself, okay? Life skills can only be imparted as a separate activity, okay? See, enough and more activities are already happening in school. I'm pretty sure like looking at this itself I can get an idea that like,
Particularly that Explorer program, how can a grade 5 child impact their thinking ability and
that is what I was trying to tell you that like see, if I am telling about artificial intelligence, okay? If I am speaking about AI, how is it impacting or how is it supporting the healthcare? Okay? If I say that like it is diabetic retinopathy, the kids will not understand.
Yeah.
But if I am telling that like you take a high resolution camera, okay? Take a picture of your iris. Start picking up the patterns, okay? Identify the patterns. Identify who has got diabetic retinopathy. Compare their iris with the image of this particular iris. Can you find a pattern in it? Okay, then you will start be able to identify that okay, what probable diseases this particular person has got. This idea will be given to the child's mind. Okay, and they will be asked to think based on a particular scenario. So if I am giving, so for example, many of your kids will be utilizing the school buses, right? More than you, they might know what challenges the school bus has got.
Yes, they are experiencing daily life.
Correct. They are experiencing on a daily basis.
How can
We give them an idea, we'll ask them to like, no, okay, think about an AI application which can help your transport department work better. Okay? I'm pretty sure like the school will not have challenges because today everything has been seamless for me, so I don't think that is a problem. But like I'm pretty sure like because there is a school in Bangalore which has got 250 buses. Now,
why I ask this question, sir? In an interview, as you said, always it's not based upon the studies what you studied or degrees and everything. They are asking the application in your daily life.
Yes.
How this can?
That is why I said like in the video, okay, once the video is being told, like shared with the kids, they watch the video, in between questions will pop up. And they are asked to answer. Do you think that like AI will improve our healthcare? And how does it help our healthcare? So by supporting the doctors, by doing like proper imaging, something that these questions will pop up. So these are the ideas that we plant in their minds. And once the SME is there in the campus, they will also make the students think and work in that particular direction.
Then holistic development is possible.
To the level possible, okay? Because I cannot completely guarantee, you know, that like external factors are all involved.
Yeah.
Tomorrow CBSE comes with a new norm. We can't say that, right? Because 2020, ma'am, how many subjects? 7. 2020 plus before 2020, 7. After 2020, 50. More than 50 subjects. 43 new skills that they have introduced. 43. So
thank you.
Any other questions? Sir.
Hi, sir. So I just wanted to know, like, other than pros, there are cons as well with AI. So, like in the recent examples, just like ChatGPT, there was some other tool which was developed and it became pretty famous, but that was banned across in many software companies and all not to use that, saying that it was developed by China and that will be taking up the inputs and recording and everything. So the students here will be taught only the pros, or even will they be educated about the cons as well and the misuses which can lead to some side effects?
Again, I would say valid question, but like the question that I would love to ask you back is like, would you want them to be told about all the cons? You said it's not all, because we can't. Okay, we can't. There is a limit with which we can say that as well. So we will be able to give them a proper idea what will work, what will not work, what you should do, what you should not do. Beyond a particular point, again, interventions are not possible from our end, okay, not from the school's end. So there, the collective responsibility will again fall in place.
So, will they be able to identify like this is a genuine tool and can be used, and this is not a genuine tool,
See,
something like that?
there are certain things that is legally valid, there are certain things that are legally not valid, okay? Now, in the eyes of the law, ignorance is problem, okay? Ignorance is a problem. If you are ignorant of the law will not give any flexibility to it. It's your problem, not anybody else's problem. That's how law takes care of, okay? So, it is always a challenge, but as I said, we'll try and channelize our efforts, our energy in such a manner that like they are moving in the right direction. But of course, definitely there should be checkpoints from you, from the grandparents, from the teachers to figure it out whether our efforts are going in the right direction. Because we will only be interacting with the kids only for 22 hours, right? And this 22 hours will get over in let's say 2 months, 2.5 months. But still they are studying in the school for about like 7 months in the same technology, and they are given classes, webinars, activities, assessments, everything is happening. So at the end of the day, through like I would say that year-long surveillance should be there from your end too. No better surveillance can be done just like a parent surveillance, because you are the right person. Okay, not everybody understands the kid better than you. Okay, trust me, like I can't understand my kids. For 4th standard and 6th standard, certain things that they say, it's very difficult to even for me also to digest. I know for like it is the same with everybody, because we are in that kind of a world. But to the level possible, you make it open, like have the computers and the tablets and the laptops and the mobiles open. They should only be browsing everything, then everybody are watching. That's only you can develop a culture. Because as I said, culture is something that you do when nobody else is watching. And unless and until we have that culture ingrained into their minds, nothing can do anything. So I would say that like collective responsibility at the end of the day. I will in simpler words, I'll put it like this. Okay? But to the level possible, we'll put our honest efforts and energy in that life. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, this question is not from a student's perspective. It is for myself, actually.
No problem.
So, actually, 15 years back, I was being to testing services, just trained for testing services, Bangalore itself. But later, I found myself very difficult for the software development. As you know, the testing was quite... So, now I just want to know the scope of the testing and the scope of the AI in testing.
See, manual testing is a thing of the past.
Okay.
Everything has moved to automation now.
Okay.
Okay, and a lot of tools like DevOps.
So I was into SQL, I know SQL.
So that's what like you mentioned about testing, so I'm referring to testing.
Okay.
So anything and everything connected to testing, it is like that.
Okay.
So manual testing is a thing of the past. Now everything is automated. And there are umpteen number of tools, not just one or two. There are like a lot of tools now available. So if you have stopped working 10 years before,
yes,
going to that domain is highly unlikely.
So
possible.
And another question.
Yes.
Sir, now I'm thinking about my child. Actually, unfortunately, he is on special needs. So his cognitive skills were very limited. So, but he was very interested in computers. He used to use the ChatGPT a lot. It gives him a lot of information that normal human relations won't do. So I'm happy. At the same time, it limits his cognitive skills. So I don't know whether how I can improve him, how I can encourage him in this AI world, you know.
You don't have to worry anything about it.
Okay.
Let him get exposed.
Okay.
He will find a way for sure. Okay. One reason. Special need, like you mentioned about like the special needs.
Yes, sir.
They are too special too.
Yes,
They are
sir.
special too. Okay. They will find a way, not like how to get ingrained to this kind of technology. Probably you don't even know. They might come really good. See, forget about the cognitive skills.
Okay,
If
sir.
I'm mentioning about that technology like cybersecurity or blockchain,
Yes, sir.
you don't have to develop anything for it. You can always configure.
Okay.
Even that is also a big job because
Okay.
at the end of the day, I don't want to invent anything about firewall. I don't want to invent anything about cybersecurity. I only want to configure and make sure that my environment, my premises, my infrastructure, computer infra, everything is secure from any imminent threat.
Okay.
Okay. That is very much possible for anybody to learn.
Okay, sir.
So you don't have to worry on that particular aspect.
Okay.
Of course, the kid will not be able to pop up just like others do.
Yes.
Give him the space, is enough time, support as much as you can.
Yes, sir.
And if you for sure know that like okay it is not possible, please let them go through whatever he is getting. Sooner or later, might come some use might come out of it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Small doubts.
Yes, please.
Sir, my kid is using AI or ChatGPT for answering questions like, in their class they have given some work to write a letter or any essay on some issue. They are simply using ChatGPT and writing the same thing. So,
Everywhere it is the same.
Actually the work is given to improve the creativity or that kind of skills. But,
Correct.
But
So,
they are using AI.
I get your point. So let's look into two different angles, okay? So one particular angle. We as when we were all youngsters, we never had information at our fingertips, right? We never had Google just like this or ChatGPT or AI or all these technologies are not there. Our source of information was our teachers or the textbooks. That's it. But right now it is not the same. Like technology has advanced in such a manner that everybody has got information at their fingertips. It is the best way to utilize so that they can make productive use of their time. So let's look from that point of view. Are they doing the right one? Yes, they are. Because instead of referring 10 different books, they are relying on ChatGPT because it will give them a summarized information of all those things. Now, what we need to make sure from our end is they just not copy paste. They also understand what is that thing all about. No harm in asking them to do. So what I do to my kids is okay, you take ChatGPT, get everything. First write it. Now rephrase everything in your own words and show it to me. That copy will only go to school. That works? That will definitely work. Their vocabulary will improve. Trust me, their vocabulary will improve. My kids they are from Kerala. Okay? All their younger years they were in Kerala. They never have gone out. 3 years before we moved, our entire family moved to Bangalore. And I put them to a totally new school. Nobody to speak in Malayalam. I thought they will struggle. 2 months, just 2 months, they started conversing in English in house too. Both my kids, 6th standard daughter and 4th standard daughter, they'll ask questions to me in Malayalam, but they converse in English. Because they feel that I may not be able to immediately answer, but sister can. So to their grandparents, only Malayalam. To me, at least half of it is English right nowadays. So kids will improve, but you have to put that effort. Okay, you write everything from ChatGPT, no problem. Now rewrite everything on your words, on your own words. Give them a dictionary, a pocket dictionary there. Ask them to find out the meaning and start writing. It will improve substantially. Last minute, don't give this. It will be entire total chaos for you. and they will definitely think that it is going to be really problematic. Next time, don't even tell daddy. I'll simply copy it from ChatGPT and things will go on. So don't keep them on this everything in the last minute. 2 to 3 days before, you ask them, you give them the copy, ask them to write it in their rough book and start retracing it. Give them a dictionary, let them start looking into the words as well. Because that is only one way that we can make sure these things where school can't help, we can't help. Only you can do. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I think that what you just said, in continuation with what you just said, the school could help because, as you said, AI is something that we cannot stop. In fact, the Intelli School itself is giving assignments to the kids to, use ChatGPT and come out with certain answers so that they get that exposure, which is important. But I think at the end of the day, if the children are asked to come and speak, then we would know how much of it is, AI and how much of it is their understanding.
Ma'am, a little impossible to clearly differentiate because, as I said, kids, their knowledge, the information that they can store is tremendous. Because we have been storing it sequentially. How do we write answers in a question? In an exam. We learn everything sequentially. It will be there in our brain, and we try to recreate or remember that and start writing. In the case of kids, the memory is still there. They can store tremendous information. So if they store all this tremendous information to their minds and start speaking inside the class, trust me, teacher will find it really difficult.
No, in a structured manner. I'm not saying every single time, but in a structured manner, if they're asked to give presentations, then it's like they're applying what they've learned through. It's good that they're getting so much information through AI, but they should be able to communicate that also.
Correct. See, that will definitely happen through CCA classes mostly, I think, because beyond the particular curriculum, there are other classes always happening, right? So platform would definitely be there. I think we might have to have an extended discussion on that particular part in how we can come out with a platform for that too.
So even in this AI program that you are having, rather than just passive,
No, it is activity oriented too. So that will be taken care inside the class.
Rather than just giving written submissions, because that clearly children have aced it using ChatGPT.
Absolutely.
But if there can be a structured presentation or what you've learned, if you ask them to speak.
All those things are there. Because at the end of the day, if there is a possibility for them to come and do a PPT, we would love to do that. But you also have to understand that not all kids will understand what PPT is all about. The burden will come to again parents. So I'll have to, as I said, I'll have to find a balance of executing it, but scope of improvement is always there now. Okay? We may not be able to make 100% proper this year. Let it be 90%. 100% we'll make it next year for sure. Yeah. Yes, please. So this, ma'am, one minute. Yeah, please. So this is a small token of appreciation because she correctly said the full form of IBM. Okay. Yes, ma'am. You are about to ask something.
Sir, as you said that everyone should have the awareness about coming technologies. But is it necessary from 5th class, 5th standard?
Ma'am, I have interacted with a lot of educators, okay, renowned academicians. Everybody are telling the fact that 5th grade and 6th grade is the time where we need to expose them to technology. I'm not naming the school here because in your platform it is not good to name the school. There is a school in India which is doing design thinking from 2nd standard onwards. 2nd standard onwards. They are not giving the full-fledged idea of design thinking, but they are giving little thoughts in the minds of the students so that they can think, come out with analytical thought process when they are in the 5th grade or 6th grade. Okay. In this current time, I am only telling them about what AI can help, what can you learn, and what is actually happening around us. That's it for 5th standard, not more than that. If I ask them to code, they will not be able to. That we also know. We can't do that. That part will come only later. maybe in the 9th standard or 10th standard. Now, the idea is to give them enough and more awareness so that they learn an interest towards technology. That's it. Okay. So too much of knowledge sharing will not happen this time. It won't be possible also.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Seeing the pros, many pros and some cons, it looks like the Pandora's box is already opened.
Definitely. I mean, like, doubt will always be there, and it's good to answer their queries. Yes.
And we cannot say also we will cross the bridge when we reach the bridge. Looks like we have already reached the bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
You are being very pretty much practical, I would say.
And one more thing, even if you see it's and one more skill also, but this skill can be applied to any other field, any other skill. It's
Yes.
like a master of all skills.
Definitely.
With lots of possibilities, with lots of. But only thing is that, like you said, we are just exposing. For that, the teaching staff, elders, parents, all in a way more or less are affected in our surroundings by AI.
Correct.
And after that, we are trying to learn and know what is AI now.
Yes.
So it is very difficult to teach the children in a structured way, but it is in a fluid state now.
To a level possible, sir, as I said, like, we try to make it structured as it can be, because anything can happen, right? Any change can happen at any given point of time. So we have to factor in those kind of things too. So based on that, our course curriculum is now fixed, based on what is the current need of the industry demand and the futuristic aspect. But tomorrow, some new technology comes in, then we'll have to factor in our curriculum also accordingly. So that changes will keep on happening, and like, we have reached a stage, for the entire world, we have reached a stage where we cannot live anymore without upskilling on a daily basis. That's the kind of scenario. When UPI was implemented, sir, everybody said, like, how on remote areas people can use. Now everybody start using UPI because that becomes a part and parcel of life for everybody, right? It's a technology upgradation that everybody has happened. When like touchscreen phones came, I had the Moto Rocker, the first touchscreen phone in India. So I almost spent half of my salary for buying that phone just to show to people. So when I had Moto Rocker, and my grandmother was asking, like, what is this all about? Like, she don't even know the touchpad mobile because she only know about the landline. She was telling, like, what will happen? Like, why am I touching this? Why there is no keyboard? A lot of questions were coming in. Now, though she is 90 years, at least she knows how to scroll, click on Google Photos, because what happens is, like, my kids' photos will get into the cloud. And she knows on a daily basis, she don't have to ask me, like, to send my kids' pictures to her. Instead, she will log into the Google Cloud and see my kids' pictures there. It's a learning that, like, a 90 plus year person has achieved. So this is really required. We are into this. There is no other go. We'll keep on doing this, and we'll have to do this continuously also.
And wherever it is applied, it's like a force multiplier.
Sorry, sir?
Wherever it is applied, we see it's like a force multiplier.
Yes.
It
Yes,
is
it is.
achieving the results
Yes.
in a different way.
Medical, no escape. AI is taking care there too. Commerce, no escape. AI is there too. Management, no escape. AI is there too. Finance, no escape. AI is there too. Legal, no escape. AI is there too. Then how can we say that AI is not needed? Everywhere it is needed. So all these things, regardless of STEAM or like commerce or whatever you say, it's there. Everywhere it is there.
These are only my views, sir. There is nothing like a question to it.
Sorry?
These are only my views. There is no question about it.
No, I got your point. Because you rightly point out certain facts which many people won't think, I would say. Any more questions?
Hi, sir.
Yes.
So there are actually 22 live sessions in class
22
session. Hours of, yeah. So will there be any particular curriculum of what will be taught on each hour? And
there is a TOC, table of contents, there is a proper curriculum, which will be shared with the school, okay, and SME will be coming and following the same curriculum. So a structured curriculum is already in place, okay, so that's not a problem. So let's say hopefully this year no new technology is going to get implemented. The curriculum will remain same because we are taking care of the current and future technologies.
That curriculum will be shared with the parents as well, or will it be in school only?
It would be there in the platform. Okay, the entire curriculum would be there in the platform because the course structure is already there in the platform. You can go and see the entire platform. That's not a problem. Because you can always log into your child's login and see.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, this is just a general question.
Yeah.
So, what is the impact on other technologies from AI? So, we have some jokes, right? Like one developer developed the AI robotics. So, after submitting that robotics to the client, immediately he loses the job. So, in such way, what is the impact on other technologies once AI is totally in bloom?
See, I am from the state of Kerala. I'll tell based on this example, okay? So, I'm saying against the current ruling government, so I'll tighten my lips to the level possible. There was a team of people who fought against the implementation of computers when Rajiv Gandhi introduced IT policy. So Rajiv Gandhi was the first Prime Minister in India to go with IT policy, information technology policy, and Rajiv Gandhi introduced computerization. It was I think, started with banks, nationalized banks. So this set of individuals vehemently opposed implementation of computerization, telling that once the computerization happens, everybody will lose the job. You know what happened? Exactly opposite happened. Once the computerization happened, they understood with what level they can scale the technology, with what level they can improve the banking infrastructure. They improved everything. SBI, State Bank of Travancore, had hardly 900, I think somewhere around 600 branches at that particular point. Somewhere around 200, 300 branches at that particular point. They rose to 1,600 branches. If computerization was not done, never ever it would have gone to this level. Why? Because we would be still writing everything in ledgers, in journals. How will you make sure that you have all this information coming to the top bank officials in a day's time? Impossible. Computerization helps to actually increase the jobs, not decrease the jobs. Okay? So, in order to answer your point, I'm telling the same example that technologies will definitely get affected. We have to find ways and means to make sure that this technology is able to take it to the next level, support it to the next level. Okay? And things are happening too. So, for example, robotics. People said that robotics, it may not be the same case. But robotics and AI together is actually doing a lot of things. Okay? Together doing a lot of things. So, obviously, technology will get interconnected and things will work in that particular manner. As long as you are equipped, the kids are equipped, there is no reason for us to worry. We'll definitely have some or the other openings for our kids. But if our kids are not equipped, you are not equipped, then even the school is not equipped, or people like us are not equipped, then nobody will be in a position to guide the student to the right direction. So I'll put it like that, sir, because it is very difficult to predict what is going to happen in the future. So what can only we say that what has happened in the past, something will definitely happen in that manner in the future also, but in a different scale altogether.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So, thank you, sir, for an insightful session, and thank you everyone for your time.
One small query, ma'am. Small compliment to Intelli actually. After listening all these things regarding AI and curriculum and everything, it's highly valuable of Intelli's mindful activities where a child can develop holistic development along with this AI curriculum. Because once I just imagine a child in AI means it's like a big trap, and it's a must. There is no way to escape with this technologies and everything. So it's a good move, and thank you, and please follow your mindful activities so that the holistic development is possible. Thank you.
Thank you for an acknowledgement, ma'am. One more time, a big round of applause for today's guests and for all of you who have given your valuable time. So now I invite Sandheep sir, our Director Administration, to present the token of gratitude to the guest of the day.
I'd like to thank all the parents for coming over for this insightful session, and Mr. Sandheep also, traveling all the way from Bangalore for this. Though there are very few parents, many of them couldn't make it, but we are going to release this video for the benefit of those who could not make it, and make them also aware of what this is and how we are implementing it in our schools for our children. Because AI is inevitable, all of you know by now. Your kid will anyway use AI. So we better educate him and channelize him to use it in the proper and correct way. That's what we thought. And they are the best people to reinforce this and guide us in this matter. It's not only those 40 hours. Will those 40 hours be sufficing for the children for the entire year? No. Our team will be taking it up with their guidelines and implementing it in the regular curriculum also. We have that program also as well. During the course of the years, we will be refining it, and we will also get to know more about the curriculum and the emerging trends, and we will take it forward. Thank you, parents, for your support.